Every time the young man returned home, he would insert the key horizontally, but this time, he found that the keyhole had been turned vertically by someone, so he immediately concluded that there must be someone inside the room. In order to alert the person inside to hide quickly, the young man deliberately made noise while opening the door, telling the person inside that they were coming in. It turned out that a wanted criminal was following behind the young man. After the young man entered the room, it was just as he had thought. The curtains that were originally closed were mysteriously opened, so he curiously went to the window to check, only to see a police officer carefully leaning against the wall. In order not to let the criminal know their plan, the young man closed the curtains on the pretext of poor lighting, to prevent the criminal from noticing and discovering the police officer outside. Unexpectedly, the young man's unusual behavior still attracted the attention of the other party. Seeing the young man inexplicably closing the curtains in broad daylight, he suspected that there was something fishy going on, so he strode forward and came to the window. The young man's heart sank at the sight, because if the police officer was discovered, then their plan would all be in vain. Fortunately, the man only pulled open the curtains, and didn't pay much attention to the outside. At this point, the young man breathed a sigh of relief, but what he never expected was, he had barely escaped one problem, only to be faced with a new one. The man noticed that the young man's earphones kept flashing green. The cautious man was afraid that this was a police listening device, and at this moment, the young man also noticed this scene, so he quickly hung up the call with the police in his pocket. Then, in the gap when the man took the earphones to check, he switched his phone to music mode. However, the man did not let his guard down because of this. He was seen asking the young man to hand over his phone for inspection again. The young man was not flustered by this, because his phone had two systems. Entering different passwords when unlocking the screen would access different pages. When the man found out, the call records only contained teachers and classmates. Only then did he finally let his guard down with the young man, and after the man walked away, the young man, he quickly flipped the wooden box in his hand to the other side. Then carefully, he took out the listening device prepared by the police in advance. Just as the man was about to take the young man to see his boss, the young man took the opportunity to take out the listening device from his pocket. Then, while putting on the blindfold, he casually put it in his ear. This series of operations did not make the man feel the slightest bit strange. Soon, the voice of the police officer came from the listening device. They told the young man to obey orders and follow instructions. Very soon, they arrived at the secret base of the criminals. However, what the young man never expected was, to enter inside, he had to go through a layer of security check outside. Just when the young man thought he could bluff his way through, unexpectedly, the thing he feared most still happened.